Oh, they mentioned him.
The kitchen, mama rolling the body, got everything in here. We sipping on cooking wrong. I'm like, so what? I'm drunk. Is it freaking weekend? Maybe I'm about to have some fun.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Shade Corner Season 5. Joining us today is the super influencer, Mr. Pamilerin. Yes.
Why are you blushing? Why are
He's happy to be here. He's happy with us. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So today we're going to be discussing a topic that I think will be very, very, like a lot of people will be able to relate to. A lot of Nigerians. What's the problem?
It's not good when we sit together.
It's actually not good. I'm going to petition them. It's not good.
This is a problem.
You have to be sitting down on wherever you're sitting from there. Anyway, so we're going to be discussing challenges of growing up Nigerian. So obviously, like growing up Nigerian is an experience in itself. Like
I really can't.
Oh yes, you're pioneer.
no. So you know the funny thing. You know the funny thing. No, the funny thing about growing up Nigerian is that you can grow up in the metaverse. If your parents are Nigerian, you grew up Nigerian.
It's a very
because they
broad.
don't do that. It's a
You guys
everywhere.
you don't have to
racial.
So I remember. What's the other race? What's the one?
No, it's Ibadan and Edo. I mean, I understand. Yeah.
No, but yeah, it's fine.
So what do you guys think about growing? Like, what are your general thoughts? Like, you know, Nigerian parents have this notion of tough love for their children. Like, oh, you don't want to spoil your children. Well, most of them, you don't want to spoil your children. They're very like, oh no, I have to call everything beat and all that. What do you think about that?
I can't like me. I like it so small because whenever I see all this, wait now.
But you're going to beat your kids.
Wait, because whenever I see all these children disrespecting their parents on Instagram, I'm like, somebody
Mommy, shut
up. Mommy, don't tell me what to do.
Did you ever watch this show called Super Nanny?
Oh yes! Oh my gosh!
There was a child that I think either the nanny punched the child. Like, I see he reached to punch that child. That was horrible. Punch! And I thought it was very good. But yeah. How about you? What do you think about that?
So growing up, it's a good and bad side. You know.
Definitely.
Now we know better. Whether growing up, if your mom doesn't show slippers or omorogun, all those things, you don't know what
We didn't grow up, yeah.
So omorogun, if your mom don't like Tony
Sponge?
Oh, shut up. Oh, the sponge. How is omorogun sponge? Shut up.
Why is your mother throwing sponge at you?
Isn't that Tony's
Pesto.
Yeah,
Pesto.
That's not pesto.
No, it's like the thick one, like a wooden one.
This pesto, omorogun is to turn eba.
Yeah.
Wooden
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
In my house, we call it a wooden mixer.
Yes, it's wooden.
In my house, we call it wooden mixer spoon.
Wooden mixer.
Yes.
That's English now.
In my house, and idea, call it.
That is wooden mixer is English.
Wooden mixer spoon.
Omorogun.
So they throw it at you?
You know, to reset your memory.
Yeah.
You get or
To
slippers.
gather your senses.
You get. So it depends on whatever she sees around her. If she does not do all those things at that point in time, then that means your parents are actually not Nigerian. Yeah. So it has to be. The love has to be tough for it to be actually to be proper Nigerian.
I mean, I have a child.
There's just
now,
slippers.
Oh, you don't say.
I do say. I mean, I have a child, and so I know that disciplining a child is very important. But I think that because of how I've grown up and wisdom too, you know that okay, all those people that will say I can't beat my child, I'm not going to beat my child is wrong because I've seen stuff like that. It's ended in tears.
But you don't have to
the one that
beat your
overbeat their
child.
child. Hold on, let me land.
He's the one with the child.
I'm the one with the child.
You don't know what I got?
Is a father.
The one with the one that they beat their child too much, it ended in tears. So I feel like it has to be balanced because I think where the problem is that a lot of parents beat their child out of frustration,
Yes.
and also took out their ill emotions on their own anger, frustrations. So my rule is even if you're angry with the child, don't do anything for the first hour. Let it simmer. Call the child, explain to the child, this is what you did and this is why you're going to get beaten because there's a consequence for bad behavior. Or bam. So you're beating without anger, but you're disciplining the child.
Honestly, growing up Nigeria, the weights.
When I get
that's even better. Yeah. How about the ones they wake you up by midnight?
You will not be thinking.
When they know that no neighbor can come to your rescue, so by midnight they allow you to do your play, go and do everything. So midnight, stand up. Now choose your Poison.
Hey.
How do you want it? Cocoa, belt,
Okay.
okay.
No, it's not like that now. That one is just wicked now.
It's not wickedness, so.
Those things happen.
Of
They
course,
will
I
they will
know.
come during the
Happy
day
nights.
because if they meet you during
That's
the
why
day, the
Nigerians
neighbors will
are
come
short.
and they will be able to do anything.
They were
Because
interrupting your sleeping
but
hours
night,
to flog you.
Those
Instead
children
of you
will
to
grow
praying
up.
for-
Those
Why
children
can't you
will.
flog me before
Oh,
bedtime?
you still go to
Let me
school.
sleep
You
well.
still
They say when you
still
come
go
back
to
from
school.
school, that waiting.
This is why our men are short. Because they were waking them at midnight to flog. They don't grow well.
Because that big guy.
They didn't have enough time to sleep, grow in their sleep. They were on
Or even when you guys
punishment.
like go to a party or something and then like maybe you're now that child that is very forward and everything like, oh food, the mother will just tell you, don't when I get home I'll see you
No, no, they will give
for the rest of that
We
party.
know that all
Nigerian
eye,
parents, that eye.
that all seen
It's
eye.
just a look, so everyone else is a small.
that's not the look.
You
That-
know, or if
that is not
you
the look.
You not be cold.
That is not the look. That is not the look. That is sexy look.
No, even if I'm always sexy. So even if I try, imagine me doing that, be like, I should be like, Daddy, you look hot.
Anyway, so now, other than tough love, so obviously, like Nigerian parents, a lot of those parents didn't like always express love like verbally, like, oh, I love you, my child, oh, yeah. So stuff like, what do you think of parents, and were your parents like emotional in that way?
Yes, but I think most Nigerian
Wow.
parents don't communicate properly. My mom was usually the type that will beat me, then come and tell me like 30 minutes later, I love you, and this is why I smacked you because you were stupid. And then
But that's good, I think that's good.
That's
so they
amazing.
communicate
My mom would
very
flog
well.
me and then give me Martina.
I'm screaming.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I feel like parents don't. Their communication ways are weird. Because my dad wasn't like that, and even this
Exactly,
Martina, that
I
was
was
your
gonna
mom's.
say
Oh yeah, I'm
same.
sorry. Now, yeah, they communicate.
Step down.
Their love is
I
different.
think
It's
it's
not
also
always my
how they
mouth.
grew
It's
up.
how they.
It's how they grow up, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if
course.
you grow up
Yeah.
not having that sort of interaction with them, because you know they grew up in a very different time. You know,
Yeah.
for them they didn't really have that situation where it's like, oh, we need to talk
You
about.
couldn't
it.
tell them,
Yeah.
they could only
So my
communicate
dad
via
I need to
letter.
ask
Yeah.
questions. I need to explain to you why I'm telling
Yeah.
you to do stuff. They didn't really have that. So why
Even
should
little
they,
things
you know?
like imagine studying abroad, like when our parents age, like the only letter you write to your father once every 3 months, Daddy, I'm okay. It's like-
But I think our generation is very fortunate because, for example, someone like me, I didn't have that too when I was growing up. My father didn't ever tell me I love you. I think the first time he told me I love you, I was in university. He said it over the phone, and I nearly choked. I was like, he just went off the call. Like, you know how you're like, okay, bye, I love you. I was like, that, sir? He was already gone. He didn't even want to. And I mean, later on, of course, after I got married, I started forcing it into the relationship. Like, Daddy, I love you. Oh yeah.
That's good, that's good.
But my mom would never had like emotional talks, but she would always say, "Love you, son. Love you, bye." You know. But I mean, because of our generation, we've seen the other worlds through social media. We've traveled. We feel like this is what we want. So I'm making like intentional steps to be different. To tell my daughter I love her, like my wife, showing her and speaking. See, first year of marriage was hard. I didn't know I could not communicate because I didn't know what it
I've
was.
always told you.
You know. Shut up.
She actually had
It
good
applies. I literally have.
Shut up.
How about you guys?
So for my mom, I think the way I know she wants to say I love you is by giving me extra meat. You know, and
love you.
sometimes you just sometimes you're supposed to sometimes just pardon you or give you extra change, and I'm like, this is why we know how to change, but that's their own way of communicating that. Thank
My
you.
dad does that same thing. My dad will finish eating and then they will like meet in the plate. Oh, come and take my meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think another thing about growing up Nigerians is that parents are never wrong. They can never say I'm sorry.
Never.
It's very hard.
Elder once apologize. Where? Have
And it
anybody ever
extends
apologized?
to out like other parts of the family.
Well, your mom.
My mom is there. I'm so sorry, guys.
Your mom is just
My mom
different.
is an anomaly. You're a real one. Although the older you got, now you're like weird.
Don't talk about my friend. Like
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But
I think that extends to like other family members as well. Like what you just said, like your uncles, aunties, because Nigeria it takes a village. So things like that extends to like the whole family.
And I
Yeah.
think we're also teaching them a lot because I feel like for them, like we are forcing them to ask themselves why they do something. Like you're saying, oh, why do you? Like I talk to my parents and I'm like, oh, this is why I want to do stuff,
Yeah.
and they have to also question their reasoning. Nobody just like when we're younger, we're like, oh, okay, daddy said we should do it, so we have to. But now you're an adult, so like, but so
Yeah.
I don't have to do
Yeah.
that. Like,
Yeah.
and so for them, so they also have to like,
It's
okay,
a
maybe
big
me too, I'm
thing with
wrong,
Nigerians across board though, because you've never had to question
Authority.
anything. Now they just do shit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, that's what is to be done. Even when it's like basic things, like when you're talking to staff about things, and it's like, oh, this doesn't make sense. They will say, but Oga said. They cannot begin to understand any other because Oga said. So yeah,
I mean,
and
even
it's
the way
because
we
of how
taught
we
at school.
grew up.
Think about university. They teach in Nigeria, not everybody else. They teach you to do it exactly as a teacher will say. Write it verbatim how they taught you.
Cram the textbook.
It was only when I got here that I didn't take notes to be writing notes. The teacher writing on the board. Before it was taught to me, I write what I'm comprehending from it, and then you review my notes and add your notes.
Nigeria, no, yeah, word for word. Even exam, you can't change the definition of whatever the teacher taught you.
Yeah.
It has to be what I taught you in class. That's what I want to see in the exam.
Why do you look so naughty?
My dear, my brother had a
My
tough
English
time
was
looking for the
going
word
to- I was trying to figure out
You were
the
like
word.
regurgitate.
So while I was really thinking, I was like, what's the right
I
word?
can tell you look so stressed.
Okay, I think that's a good segue into talking about like boarding school.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, that is not education. At
Wow.
Boarding school, yeah, we can. So obviously, growing up in Nigeria, and like for us now, like millennials and others, like boarding school was a big thing. Like parents believe that to be a good child, you know,
You have to
well,
go
for
to
the most part, you have to go to boarding school.
parents, you have
A
to
lot
go
of
to
parents, for a lot of parents, it was like, okay, you have to go and learn how to fetch water, how to wake up at 5 a.m.
5
and how to
a.m.
do all those things. And they, I mean, them, they are working, so they might want you to go there so somebody can do all that. So what do you think about boarding school?
I think that a lot of parents, to be honest, yes, there's some few ones that did it for the right reasons, and because they had a principle attached to it. But the truth is, a lot of Nigerians, 2 reasons they don't like to be intentional parents, and number 2, they like to pass the ball. Somebody else can train my child. I need to just do my life. I'll pay. Let me go and work, and let me go and But it's just a way of pushing the child to something and
I
somewhere.
actually don't agree. I feel like parents just do that just because they want you to learn.
No,
they
I
want you
think
to
that's what I'm
learn
saying.
early enough.
50-50.
They feel like if you stay home, you might be
But there are
if
some
you stay
That's why I
home,
said
you meet
there are
bad
some
guys.
people
So
that do it
they
because
actually
of a
send us to boarding school
principle.
for
Like
good
they
reasons.
believe that
Good reasons.
and that's why I said some will
Host.
no.
I mean, I feel like good reasons is almost like painting that okay, there's a bad. I don't think it's like a bad thing. I think sometimes it's not even like you know that you're not going to be around 24/7. You're busy, you have work and stuff like that. So you want your child to be somewhere that they're with other people their age, they're communicating, they have people watching after them 24/7. They have eating time. You're not going to be worried that although you paid your school fees, you know, visiting day you go and see the child, you know they're okay, they can call you anytime. So it's not. I don't think it's like a good or bad thing. Really.
My parents were quite different. So my dad didn't allow any of us go to boarding school, not at all. Like, but my dad also had his own this thing. He was like, everybody must go to federal school, no private school. Nobody's going to university abroad. If you go to school abroad, you're paying for it yourself. So our masters, we all either got scholarships or went on our own. So my parents were very strict. Like, we want you to go to schools where you cut grass and wash dishes. But no boarding school.
They do that in private
My
school.
parents
though.
were
So you've
like,
cut grass?
yeah, of course. My parents wanted
They
to
cut grass in private schools too.
There was one time
Lagoon school, Lagoon secondary school. In fact, if you see one building by the gates of Lagoon school, I'm eating that soil. I'm eating that soil. I got that grass.
Well, you know
Did
what,
I
guys,
attend
randomly,
class?
I'm anti-boarding school. I'm so anti-boarding
Completely
school.
at this point. It's
I
completely.
know, I
I'm
declare
sorry,
it. I'm anti-boarding
actually,
school
with
in
everything happening
Nigeria.
here-
I am because
of
here
the things
there's
that
no
happen.
Because of
accountability
everything happening
here.
right
And the
now.
revelations
There's no
that keep coming on, like I was a
accountability.
dissident in my own school, and I know what I went through, but what I saw borders go through. And you know, the thing is, we have now it's better, but in our own time, a lot of time, children didn't know how to communicate when things were happening because somebody is beating you up, they're telling you, oh, if I beat you and you tell somebody, I'll kill you.
And I guess on that
You're not
thing,
seeing
you have
your
to have back
child.
your mind like you actually died.
Yes, and you're not seeing your child every day, so you're not seeing the change. Like when I think of some of those stories, if that child was coming home every day, you'd have seen
seen
something.
something.
Ways
But
and all.
you don't see a child for 3 months. If anything is happening to that child, you don't. So
And
I'm
the child
very
is scared.
You know what?
And
I
when
don't
they do
support
go
it.
home, they're just
I
excited
don't
to
support
go home,
I don't
excited to
support
eat.
boarding school.
I don't
No more
support
boarding school,
Nigeria.
I mean.
Let's
I
be
think even
specific.
with the whole
Let's be
story of
specific.
the
Yes.
Dolan College,
Yes.
Sylvester.
Yeah,
No, but
yeah.
even America, my dear,
I
is
said that
horrible
it's
too
America.
now.
we have
My
brought
dear,
this
do you know,
already.
I said other places.
No, but I don't
Switzerland.
think that's even also horrible to even say. But I'm not even.
It
I'm
depends
not,
on the
I'm not a
age.
parent, so I'm not judging anybody. But for me, I just think even sending your child to another boarding school in another country.
It depends on the age.
No, but
Depends
Tamara,
on the
It
age.
doesn't
I feel like
matter. Your
those are
child is your
formative
responsibility.
years.
Yeah, but then
And
at
their
the same
formative years are
time,
very
that's-
important.
You are
As
a parent.
huge
Hold
role
on, hold on.
in
You
their
are
life.
hold on. You are a parent and you are an actor, are you not?
Yes.
So you are going to be on a set for 3 months. You do not think maybe it would be better to send your child to a boarding school? Your wife is off doing what she's doing.
But Tamara, hold
you know, if you will not pick a good school, the teachers are top teachers. They will tell you, they will give you regular updates. You have to see your child once a month. Your child has a phone, you can face it. There's technology. Instead, your child must stay in the house so that you can see them for bedtime.
I'm saying, come on, not about even better, but for safety and so on. Look at this time that we're in is a very
it's a crazy time.
Like,
the world now is not the world of 20 years ago.
It wasn't a good idea to have, maybe originally boarding school would have been a good idea to have, but the way things are going now.
Yes.
But I'm saying,
but do you know that everything happening now is not just now. It's not just now. It's not just that.
Exactly.
It's been happening for years.
It's just now we have social media.
Yes,
Exactly.
and we are just informed. All these things have been happening.
But the truth is that things spread more rapidly. And the truth is that the decadence is worse now. You're saying that it's not today that kidnapping started. There has been kidnapping in Nigeria. But you cannot say that the level of kidnapping now is the same of 20 years ago.
It's now more decadence, the kidnapping level.
Hey guys. Oh my God.
Sorry,
That is
guys,
not
things are
good.
getting heavy.
Anyway, so okay, now we've had this conversation about boarding school. So I think one of the advantages of
Did you guys go to boarding school?
I went to boarding school.
I went to boarding school.
I went to boarding.
You went to boarding school?
I did.
And I hated it completely. I thought it was the worst thing.
And
I had to pull out.
Okay, to be
after
fair, I
2
was
years.
first
pulled
set.
out.
I was first set.
And you are here fighting for
Yeah,
it.
seniors. That's
I was.
why.
I didn't have
He
seniors.
pulled out too.
You
He's
pulled
fighting
out.
for it.
Of boarding school.
You did you go to boarding school?
I went to boarding school here and in abroad. And here, I was first set. I didn't have seniors. At my grandfather's house
that
was
would
on the
have
same
been
street.
nice.
When they used to ride, I used to go to the gate and say, I go to my grandfather's house.
Wow.
I'm sick of this. And I was the Lagos girl. I didn't go to boarding school in Yoruba land. I was in the middle of nowhere in Asaba. So I was that stubborn Lagos girl.
You sell.
I loved it. I loved every minute of it. But no, I mean, things happened. It was weird. To be fair, we were not fighting bullies. There was some spiritual things going on. We were fighting demons. Not in the forest. Not be bullying the doors. Now, when I conquer the doors.
Oh my God. All the stories about Bush baby and all. Did you?
If you collect the mat, you'll be rich. I'm like, okay.
there was one story that they told us that there's one coin in our school that is that if you turn the coin, that the whole
school turned upside
down. I said, Jesus.
It was done by the mermaid that opened your
There was a
school.
mermaid, yeah, exactly.
I heard that story.
Yeah.
I know that
There was a
story.
mermaid because our batch had a mermaid.
I know that one. You know the one with the mat and the.
That's
King's College,
I
right?
don't know what you're talking about.
King's
I
College.
will not be calling anybody.
Who call out names today?
You didn't like boarding school in England?
That much. I mean, I loved it still, but then that was my first experience of a bully, and I was like, ew, what is this?
You say what's ill?
Yeah, for like a week I was sad, and then I was like, wait, who are you? But I was like, oh.
So how did you
this
tackle
is
that
real.
police situation?
For a week, I was like being meek and humble, and then one day I entered the cafeteria, and her and her group of friends were laughing. And then I walked up to her and I was like, but actually your boyfriend is ugly. And I walked up and she didn't. The next day she came and she sat next to me during lunch. I was like, so.
You became the queen
No,
bee.
but that's how you that's London.
I didn't become the queen.
That was not yet.
That was Yoruba girls. Yeah, this was not white girls.
Was it?
It was Yoruba girls.
No, but in Lagos.
To be fair.
It was in London.
I didn't become the queen.
No wonder.
No, we just
You test in your
calm
Rupa.
down.
You just said
And
it.
your Rupa.
Excuse me, Pule. Auntie Roke in the background will help them even punish you even more. But that's right.
That's
Now your head therefore drag which boyfriend? Then plus the boyfriend on top will beat you.
But then the thing is, I feel like Nigerians, we allow a lot of shit to happen. How will you say that somebody will beat me? I don't have
Like,
leg to
they will
run.
beat you.
And I know people will come and beat them.
It's
I don't understand.
Is it you?
Now I believe that your grandfather's house was really beside
You
you.
really, yeah, you enjoy it. You enjoy
Daddy love
my
it.
dear. When they tell you to look into the sun and they slap your destiny.
Look into my eyes and I see.
Or they draw a bus on the wall and then you push
And then to
the
push
bus.
the button. Or
The
they
bus
tell
must
you
switch the
to
other
use
side.
You know that one?
I saw people
That you have to push.
when
And
they
you
tell you use
push.
spoon to fetch water into a basket.
I know.
And they'll give you 20 naira to go and buy
I did that one. Somebody I did that
You did
one.
that one.
They'll give you 20 naira to go and buy 1 month's
I
provision.
never understood what. Nobody. You will not kill me last. I wouldn't do it.
But I was trying to segue before, but so you guys, boarding school, one of the things that boarding school teaches is home training. I would hope. Like,
But
wait, where?
wait now. No, but wait,
Which
hold
home are
on,
we talking of in this training?
Hold on. Like people that go to boarding school, there's like first, I mean, what's home training? they'll teach you respect. You're around elders that know your family members.
Which the seniors are the ones that teach you respect.
No, the staff of the school now. This thing on the island. This is
It's traumatized.
So
actually, I was not actually, I did survive.
You didn't tell us about your own now.
It was actually a good school, and to be honest, secondary school was a good experience. It was private, it was good. They didn't used to flog us. The only time that because they didn't used to flog us, we started going anyhow, doing anyhow. Then one of our teacher now our headmaster, principal now head. And so you know what? He's going to introduce cutting grass, and me, I turned into that first cutting grass experience trouble I entered. But by the time they saw people's cutlass flying in the air, as they do like this, it will leave their hand and go. Everybody, go back inside.
That did not happen in my school.
Oh my God! School invested in cutlass. It was flying. They just said that was the last day.
So you gotta kill somebody's child by
That's ridiculous. So you don't believe that secondary school teaches home training?
I don't.
I think home training
is a very specific thing to how you were raised.
Yes.
No, but I get what
home training.
If you go to boarding school, you're going to learn.
You know how to make your
learn
you have to
respect.
make your bed, you have to keep time, you
I
have
think you should
to.
learn before you actually.
But I don't know if I call that home training
no,
or
it's just
basic.
saying that it's supposed to like. So I feel like it's supposed to instill those things. So you're doing it every day.
Yes.
So
But I don't know if it instills.
I know Nigerians are obsessed with home training.
I don't know if it instills home training or
routines.
Manners
yes,
and
routine.
Or
Independence and routine.
What is home training?
Home training is basic what you are taught from
Values.
Yeah, values, being polite.
Values
Basic
and
things that telling
manners.
people
Yeah, but you
that's
learn those
home
things
training.
in secondary
We
school.
get it, they don't
They do as like you do.
No,
It's
it's
discipline.
routine.
Home training
They
is
don't-
discipline. That's all.
But
it
that's
is.
my
It's a facet of home training.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so now for this new generation coming, now what do you think home training is the same for them? You don't think Gen Z has home training?
If you tell Gen Z, hey, you need to do this, you need to make it, oh my man.
You'll be like you're a fire.
You're ruining, you're getting in my
Bloody Samaritan.
Come on, go and sit down.
Anything what you're saying, you're not considering my mental health. I am not in the right frame of mind.
No, but I actually love it. I feel like we are responsible for that. I feel like how you said earlier that we've taught our parents how to say I love you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
We've
they
taught
are
the
now
younger
teaching
generation how to stand up for themselves.
No,
No,
we need too much.
because
They are seeing the younger generation have seen the trauma we have, and they're like,
And they're not taking it.
So,
And
but
it's
they
good
don't
to
yet
some
have
extent.
it,
But
so
I
they
don't
need
think
to
that
calm
it's
down.
also
How can
true.
you be 14 telling me, oh my god, girl,
It's
what
also-
is doing? No, stop it.
No.
Oh my god, I cannot make my bed. It's exhausting.
So will you
But I
flog your
think
children?
No, I think it's also due
Shady.
to the fact that most of us millennials who are meant to be like examples to them, and also their parents who were also busy, and they're being raised by it's the phone that's raising Gen Z now. So that's why they
Their
are
phone and
that.
friends.
Lil Nas
Phone
X
and
is
friends.
raising your
They're just
friends.
learning from them. They're not having any conversations with
Phone and
us. So
friends.
it's just crazy, man.
Okay, so you guys, on the last note now, would you? So obviously, home training, discipline, and would you flog your children? Like, will you spare the rod, basically, as they say?
Small.
Spare
I
what?
actually don't think it depends on the child, but I don't think I would.
Spare the rod?
I think everybody
Is it a
knows
spare we're talking of? Are we flog?
Let me tell you something. I'm a disciplinarian. Even my niece, I'm very close to my nieces and nephew, but if you offend my eye and my hand might fly.
No, Bayo is that kind of person that
you know,
Bayo said, if his child does something stupid on social media,
No, he said if your child is crying on social media,
but things that there's a difference between discipline and fighting.
beating, yes.
Because when we were in school, that one was not discipline, that was beating.
beating, yeah.
They would tell, I remember that time when if any teacher should just come and say, everybody put your head on the table. Hey, Jesus. You just start hearing, wow, you don't know where it's coming from. That was
There was
literal
a time in my
torture.
school they flogged
There's a difference,
they were
yeah.
flogging people here.
Yeah.
Yeah, even on their necks. When they flog you on your neck,
Yeah.
when they
How
flog
about
you
this
on
one?
your
What rubbish is that?
Yeah,
That's
they're-
wickedness.
that's wickedness.
So
and
there's a
that's
difference
torture
between
now.
just
Yeah.
a spank
But a small
or
spank.
you know,
'Cause my mom
and
spanked
a
me, but she didn't
brush.
flog me.
Yeah.
We
So I mean, I'll
still-
spank my children. I'm
No,
sorry.
I will discipline,
I'll spank.
and disciplining can come in different forms. It is, punishment, telling them not to do telling them to do what they don't like to do. For example, there's one of my nephews. Flogging him is better than telling him to face the wall.
Hey.
When you just say, take time out, 20 minutes, Joshua face the wall. It's as if the world is over. Face the wall!
You know what that was?
That's what with me. I'm going to use that. I will be that one. I will say wait, and I will not come up.
My mom used to do this thing fighting because we were only 2 years in between. So literally when we fight, my mother would say, go into the room. She would lock us in the room for hours. You have to stay together. You only way we will allow you guys if you hug. That telling us to hug like this was the worst thing you ever done. You'll be there for like 4 or 5 hours, one hug. Oh my God. So
and you have to be very, very, you should know what changes.
You have to be very,
you say, Shady is hug. Oh yeah, let's hug.
Yes.
Nonsense.
You have to be
You
very,
For example, this Joshua, there was a time that facing wall was no more working for him. He now changed to, there's one teacher he likes in school. I said, I will report you to your teacher.
This is Joshua.
Joshua, they are casting you.
How old is Joshua now?
How old is Joshua?
He's beautiful, like some great
How old is
How old is he?
He's Pamilerin. How about you? You spend the word on that child.
So,
He's like 9,
body shapes,
9-ish.
yeah, they work for me. And there's this one I like that if my dad asks me to do it, I will whip. Put one leg.
One leg up,
God! See, beat me in the word. Don't allow me to do that thing. That thing, in 2 minutes, I'll be whipping.
I used to love people.
But you did it a lot, right?
It was like stretching out
At the
my
point time,
hands.
I got
But
used
you
to
do
it.
know that thing actually is good for
You
building the core.
So when they would tell me pick me, I'd be like, light work.
I wish they told me to do it more. Maybe my stomach would be flat by now.
You guys.
Punishment made me like this. My calf was from cutting grass. Being bad
Excuse me, miss.
But no,
Unfortunately,
every child is different. And just
yeah, of course, every child is
that's
different.
the
There's no, I mean, I feel like growing up now, like there's so many things that have changed for the
Yeah.
new generation. There's so many things that they will do differently and all that.
I
Yeah.
also think people should be aware of themselves. Personally, one of the reasons I don't want to have children is me, I know when I'm irritable, anything can happen. I don't want to slap my child by mistake. Because I know I can. I will just be irritated. Mommy, can I shut up? Next thing, my child will be in therapy at 30. My mother was a bit. Please know yourself. If you have anger issues and problems, it's not by force to born. Buy cats, buy dog, buy rabbits.
Guys, that's all we have time for today.
So are you trying to say that it's better to maltreat your
Okay, that's all we have time for
You will
today.
carry the cat and throw it away.
That's all we have time for today. We'd like to say a big thank you to our special guest, Pamilerin. Hope you had a good time with us. And for everyone watching, please continue to subscribe to Accelerate Plus and join us for another exciting episode next time of Shade Corner.
Bye. Good.